Catherine, now you're a strong person who's highly against the concept of having institutions looking after this branded the segment of people. To my knowledge, there are just one or two schools. Let's take the educational side. Just one or two schools which take in children, where the infrastructure is developed for ramps and toilet facilities like that. How can this be absorbed into the national education system? What is do you think that children of disabilities should also go to the same school, provided the facilities are given, provided the proper trainee teachers are given? What is your idea on
That's the key, provided there's proper teacher training and there's proper accessibility. If that's there, absolutely, children should be going to mainstream schools. But the problem that we have right now is the teachers aren't trained enough in ways to manage an inclusive classroom. So when you have kids of all different levels, you need to know how to manage that. And right now, we don't have enough teacher training. What we always encourage down in Gaul is to get the parents together, to actually get into a group, go to the school and demand to know why my child is not allowed in this school. Because what we're trying, because again in here, and also Mahinda Rajapaksa said very, very clearly, I think around 2 years ago, every Sri Lankan child must have an education. If we're ever going to reach that goal, we have to address disability, because our levels of education are very high, but then when you look at the levels of education for kids with disabilities, the levels are much lower, and also a lot get admitted and then they immediately leave again, because the parents know, the teachers know they should be admitted, but once they are admitted, everybody looks and says, actually we don't have the capacity to give this child a proper education, and then they end up leaving very quickly.
And it makes things worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, with that we're coming to our second commercial break, so we'll be back right after this. Thank you for watching. Welcome back. Thank you for watching Ayubowan Sri Lanka. And if we look at what Catherine has now on her lap, is that some items which have been made by the inmates or by members or whatever.
It's actually by mixed groups.
Mixed groups, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Catherine, before you show these, now I've got another very interesting question. I want to see how you tackle this one. Is that there are many organizations like the Help Age or things like that who bring out things, Christmas cards, linen, bed sheet, cushion covers and things like that. But when it comes to selling this in the market, or when you're positioning this, you tend to advertise, you think you can get a wider market by saying, or by advertising the concept of products of disabled people.
yeah.
Yeah, the reaction says, what is your idea on this? Is this right? Aren't you discriminating them once again by doing so?
It's okay if people know, but from the beginning, the first thing that we said was, we are never going to say, Auntie, please buy this, poor disabled people have made it, and you'll earn merit by buying it. Because that's what a lot of people do. And I've seen a lot of places where they do brown paper envelopes, and they do production that actually you never want to buy. So what we decided right at the beginning was, the only production we were going to do was production that you actually want to buy, that you can market. We sell in Odell, we sell in dwellings in Colombo as well. You know, we make sure that the quality is high, and we can sell to people who actually want to buy it, because then they'll buy in the long term.
Yeah.
Otherwise they buy once and say, that was shocking quality, I'll never buy from those people again.
Yeah, that's right. So it's quality, more or less a sales, an advertising or a sales pitch by quality, improving the quality of the product itself. Can you show us what you have, Catherine?
Sure. These are just a couple. These are batik, using batik in new ways. So batik cushion covers that look like these. Then one of the really nice stories is we do work in one institution in Gaul, and a lot of the women there have never been out. They're not allowed out at all. So we're trying to work with them to get them out of that institution, at least just to go down the road and buy a Coke.
Okay.
They're not, you know, they're just not allowed out. So these guys, they do the fraying on the napkins, and once the napkins have been frayed, we then get a batik, simple batik design on the napkin. These are really popular. We do also simple batik handkerchiefs, if you want to put one in your top pocket when you're presenting. A lot of greetings cards, different types of greetings cards.
Beautiful. And made by recycled paper, I suppose?
Yeah, made by recycled paper. We use jute, we use beads. We have a lot of different designs, and we especially sell a lot at Christmas, obviously, to companies and different people. And also we have a big kids range. So this is just one of the designs. This is the most popular design, actually. The kids love these.
Daughter loves butterflies.
Aha, okay. Well, these are all available at Dwellings if you want to go and buy them. So yeah, all of these things. What the key really is to break down whatever you make into different levels of skill. So like we did with the women who fray these napkins, that's the very simple level activity. The more skilled activity we get done by somebody else who has a higher level. They may be disabled, they may not be disabled.
Now tell me, Catherine, the most important thing, Wheels of Fortune. Now what exactly, earlier on we were talking about an event which is going to happen. I think this is absolutely great. I think the concept of you, a person who is able, getting onto a wheelchair and trying to push yourself around the city limits of Colombo, I think this is going to be something that you will you know, oh my goodness, is this what a person with a disability is going through physically, but as well as something else? Sharon, could you Catherine, could you elaborate on that?
I think the really interesting thing is, physically, yes, it's going to be tough. You're wheeling around. But the worst thing is, we're non-disabled. We're used to being able to do everything for ourselves. Suddenly, these people are going to have to ask people, could you help me to get myself up this step? Could you help me? That asking for help is totally unnatural for us. And that's what people are going to experience.
Catherine, tell me what's going to happen on this date. What is the program all about? What is Wheel of Fortune?
Basically, Wheels of Fortune is where we have companies or groups of people who come in, they're put in wheelchairs, and they have to run a treasure hunt in the wheelchairs. So you get 10 clues, you have to follow those clues around to win the race. You'll see, I think we assume, especially that area around Cinnamon Grand is very, very accessible, but people will see just how accessible or not accessible that area is, especially Gaul Road.
Yeah, of course. So there's going to be people, there'll be companies, corporates taking part in groups of 3. The group is going to be consisting of 3 participants, and from what I understand and from what I spoke to her earlier, there'll be a race, a treasure hunt, where the 3 members of the group will be given 3 wheelchairs, and they'll be given clues as to where they have to go first, and the map basically, and you got to wheel yourself, or is that what you call? Wheel yourself in a wheelchair and experience the irony of physically as well as mentally how a person of I think this is all good, so that you and I will understand actually what goes through a life. It will be a fun-filled adventure for a person taking part, but at the end of the day, the learning point is that the next time you look at a person, you will realize how difficult and how difficult it is for somebody to get around in a wheelchair, and what psychological effects that the person is going through. So if you want to be a part of this, if you're a company, or is it open for individuals as well?
Yeah, a group of people. If you're a group of people and you want to come in, it's fantastic. All we ask is that each group sponsors 1 wheelchair, and after the event, every sponsored wheelchair will be donated to people in need down in Gaul.
Okay. So you don't need to basically bring a a wheelchair now, and you can get in touch. Catherine, how can anybody watching who wants to support this movement, who wants to, I think this is something great. I think this is a very innovative, novel idea, and I think people who want to be a part of this, please come with us, join ECSAT, and make this day a memorable one. Catherine, how can they get in touch with you?
Probably the best thing to do is to look on our website,
Okay, and
which
that
is
is
www.exatlanka.org.
okay, that's www.exat is spelled actually all simples ECSAT. Please note it down if you've got a pen around you. It's ECSAT as in ECSAT, Lanka, Lanka. .org. So you get into events, and you will see the exact thing that is going to happen on the 18th, which is going to be a Saturday.
So not too much traffic.
Not too much traffic. So the funny part is that there'll be an award ceremony as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So the person who wins actually will get a hold of the treasure as well, and probably donate it back.
Maybe.
Okay, anything else you want to say before we wind up, Catherine?
I suppose I would just like to say, please do get involved. Think about this, think about it in your company, think about it wherever you are, because disability is something that, a lot of people say, I may not be disabled now, I may be later, so a lot of people say I'm not disabled yet.
Yeah, okay.
So it affects us all, and it will affect us all.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. And the website once again is www.ecsatlanka.org. And until we meet you again, I'm sure we'll see most of you on the 18th. Where is it going to be?
Cinnamon Grand.
Cinnamon Grand. So 18th, Cinnamon Grand is the place. Please be a part of it. Thank you for watching Ayubowan Sri Lanka. Until we meet again, have a great day. Thank you.